I bought a Katool lift, 11,000 pounds. There's a lot of really good videos out there that will tell you how to assemble it. I'm going to do a short version on things that I couldn't find in any of the videos. Maybe it'll help somebody out later. So we'll take a trip around it. I bought the lift and the four casters. The shipping weight on the package was 2,431 pounds. I have an MX 6000 Kubota with a front end loader. It would not pick it up. It would pick up one end of it, but it wouldn't pick up the whole thing. So I had to pick up one end at a time, load it, and drag it into the shop. These were the two frames that it was bolted on each end. If you can notice here that there is a little skid plate welded to the bottom. It took like 16 bolts. There's 4 bolts, 4 bolts, 4 bolts, and 4 bolts on each one. And that your power ramp or power platform is the one on the top. And the other platform is bolted to the bottom to make the bottom. I would suggest that you take it, unpack everything, and lay it out and take inventory. I would rate this as a 5-star, and the reason being is this is really thick metal right here. All of these are very good. All of the hose are matched. I didn't have to drill anything out. Everything fit like it was supposed to be. All the parts were there. You know, nothing was bent or anything that had to deal with. And again, it's heavy. You'll need a couple of buddies to come over and help you with it, or as my wife said, you need one strong woman to come over, one really good woman to come over and to put these together. Mine came with 3 drip trays. They're not really that strong. They flex a lot, but they're not oil trays, they're just drip trays. And then one jack tray that's in there. And then of course the casters came separately when you order it. This is your power platform that has all your cylinders and cables and everything. And this other platform over here actually would work without it if you just didn't need it to pull a car on there or whatever. But there's nothing underneath this platform. It's just a piece of metal there, and it's adjustable. You could bring them on out to these outer bolts, or you can even bring it in a notch if you wanted to. If you did, your drip trays and jack stand wouldn't fit it, of course, but if you had a wider vehicle, something of that sort, and wanted to use it, it is possible to put that on there. Now, it did come with extra hardware. This hardware is what I had left over. These are anchor bolts that if you wanted to anchor it in the concrete you could, but since I have my casters, I won't be using these. And then there's quite a few different pieces left over in this bag that I did use. So I think I got it all together. When you uncrate these, there are 2 pulleys on one end and 4 on the other. Those pulleys stick out past the edge down here. And what you'll need to do on all your bolts on your frame, you need to back it off and stretch them on out. I didn't take the actual nuts off the end of it. I just separated to clear the pulleys on the end. And the other end looks like this right here. It's got 4 pulleys on it, and you can do that. Your posts are all identical. All 4 of the posts look exactly alike. It doesn't matter which post you put where. You have to decide where you're going to put the pump. You can either put the pump on the far left or you can put it on the far right, because this platform that's up here has a ridge on it, and this ridge goes to the inside, so it can either be turned this way or it can be turned this way. So your pump would either go down there or it would go down there. It cannot go to that post or to that post, because this ridge would be sticking to the outside, and that ridge is what holds your tray and also your jack stand there. This is your pump side cross member. They're separate. They're two different cross members. The slots are cut in here and they're offsetting. If you notice, this is a little higher than this one. That fits in there. The other slots have got two larger rectangles cut for the 4 pulleys. So this beam right here is very important that it goes here. The other thing you want to know is that while you put your posts together, once you stand these up, these ladder racks will not be in here, but you will want to mount your pump bracket on here before you put these ladder racks in, at least on this post. Your ladder racks go in. If you notice down here at the bottom, there's a bolt. There's also a plastic spacer that goes between this ladder and this inside plate. And there's a small square cut out for you to put that spacer in. I would suggest that you put this ladder, and if you notice, it should be setting on the base. And you don't want it really high. You can adjust it with the nut up there, but I would suggest that you want it tight, but you want that end on the base down there. Now, a couple of these ladders, safety ladders, were bowed, and a couple of them was bowed pretty bad. I tried to put them in there with them bowed, and what would happen is your safety latch would catch. So I took them out and straightened them. Once I got them straight and I put them down on the very bottom down here, where it's sitting on there, then the safety latch would pass down through there. Otherwise, the safety latch would catch on these and stop it. So you want to make sure those are straight. Don't forget your spacer down at the very bottom. That bolt nut doesn't have to be that tight, just kind of firm. And then you're going to adjust the slack out of it with that up there, that bolt up there. Notice that the cables, there's 2 holes. It lines up with the pulley. So on your pump end of it, your cables will run on the outside of the pulleys, over here and over here. So you want this cable to run, go through the slot, and go back this way. The side over here runs on this side. You want it to go, and you want it to go, that's going to be your long cable that goes that way. This one going this way will be your short cable. I'm going to get a picture of this down in here. This is how your cable will come up through there. It goes around your pulley. This is your safety latch, and if your cable's tight, it's going to release your safety latch. If your cable breaks, the safety latch is going to kick in. One of the things I want to show you on the ladder, if you can see this round bar down in here, your ladder goes between that round bar and this flat piece back here. don't put it on the other side of it, but you can see the bar that runs through there, so it goes on between the two. Make sure you get that properly placed in there. And while we're down here, we can talk about how to put your rods on here. It's got two nuts on it. You'll have a nut, this plastic, and a nut. So take all that off, put your plastic on, put your nuts on it. Your double nuts is to lock it, to keep it from turning. Okay, when you put your platform on here and bolt it down here, you got the upper nut bolts and the lower ones. Make sure that that lower bolt, that the cable is on top of that lower bolt. You can put this bolt in there and that cable's down here, and what it's going to do is going to cause it to put a lot of extra tension on there as it goes up. So make sure your cables is above that bolt, all the way on all of them, all the way down. Make sure it's up above it. What I did is I stuck the bolt in there, pulled on the cable, ran the bolt through there, and I moved it up and down to make sure I could feel the cable sitting on top of that bolt. If you had a scope or something, you could probably put it through one of these holes and check it. But definitely make sure that cable's on top of all of those bolts in there. Now this end is the opposite of where the pump station is, and you can see the 4 pulleys up there, and I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there's 2 very large squares, and they're evenly cut, where those pulleys actually set inside that on both ends. So that's why it's important to get them up there and get them on there like that. So your pulleys, this pulley here is on the inside, the other side was on the outside, and that's why this pulley right here, this pulley will go in and go the short side. The pulley on the inside here goes around the pulley and then goes down to the long side. So on this one, left goes left, right goes right. On the other end, it's left goes right, right goes left. So keep that in mind when you're running it. You want your cable to go around your pulleys. So here's your cylinder. It goes all the way from one end to the other. If you want more slack, what I did was on this bar right up here, I hooked a come along and I ran it all the way down to here, and I used a come along to pull that cylinder out that gave you more slack on the cables. So that's something you can do if you think your cables are too short or whatever. You can pull this cylinder all the way out. I think I had it up to about, let's see, where, about to here, somewhere in there when I pulled it out. So I pulled all the cable I could get, and it was very easy to run that cable through there. Again, just make sure that that cable is on top of these bolts right here, these bottoms bolts, when you put that through there. Don't run it underneath it. Okay, so in order to drop this, I don't know if I can do this holding the camera or not, but no need to push the button. What you're going to do is you're going to pull your handle back. Whoops, first it's locked, so I'm going to have to raise it up just a little bit. So I'm going to hit the button, and I'm going to raise it up just a little bit. Now my handle is easy, and I'll pull that back. And I come over with the valve, and I just release it. So by pulling the handle back like this and holding it back, and then this is your valve right here. It doesn't do anything up, but you push it down, it releases the hydraulic fluid through your hose goes back into your reservoir. But you got to make sure that you're locked, because if you don't, here I'm going to let it down, if you don't, it stops. That's your catches getting in there. So in order to release the pressure off of those, you have to go up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then you can release the pressure off the handle and let it back down.